Good morning. It's time to get in touch. In Touch is a public affairs show dedicated to improving the lives of Susquehanna Valley residents. I'm Freddi Hammer, News Director at Backyard Broadcasting. Among the groups in Williamsport that help those that may need a little bit of a hand up involve the Sojourner Truth Ministries, as well as their new venture called House of Hope. I'm lucky to be on the phone today with Pastor Angelique, who's quite busy getting all ready for House of Hope and different things for the springtime. I'm just happy to welcome you to In Touch. Good morning, Pastor Angelique.
Thank you so much. Good morning to you, Freddi.
Tell us a little bit about your position there with Sojourner Truth Ministries and who you're helping in our community.
I'm the director of Sojourner Truth Ministries and a pastor. Sojourner Truth Ministries is here to serve the local community, and most of those that we serve are people who are on the lower end of the socio-economic scale, people who are food insecure, hungry, have socialization needs, and also some who are homeless. Mm-hmm. The House of Hope is kind of my baby, and that is something that has been in development in a couple of months, it'll be 3 years. And we have just put heart and soul into that. It's mostly done by volunteers, except where we needed a skilled contractor with insurance. We have been working on what was once upon a time a parsonage, transforming that into a home for women coming out of homelessness. And we will be able to take up to 12 women eventually, and the whole program is designed to holistically assist and pour into women. It's all faith-based, Christ-based, mm-hmm. and giving them every single tool that we possibly can so that they can get out of homelessness and into sustainable living.
Isn't that really the need that a person might have when they're feeling a little bit lower? This is the time when people can come together and surround them and give them that lift that says, I believe that you can do this.
Absolutely. And you know what? It has completely been a community project. We've had people help from all different churches and denominations, and some people giving community service hours, and then just people who have heard about what we're doing and want to help. And it's really been quite something to see.
Last year, we talked a little bit here on InTouch about you said this has been going on for 3 years, so probably about a year and a half into this, we got together and talked about it here on InTouch, and how exciting when it comes to fruition like this, when you have all the hands that came together that you needed.
Yes, it's been amazing. It's been absolutely amazing, and I feel so fortunate because I have gotten to meet most of these people, from people who have come in and just literally written on the walls before we painted them. So it's all just blessings and pouring in and drawings and everything positive, nobody's names. So that's all sealed in with well wishes and scripture. And then all these people just coming together over this time, and they're buying into this vision. And honestly, according to the 2018 Lycoming County Needs Assessment, it lists substance abuse and mental health needs and housing as some of the critical needs. And we have found a gap, and that gap is women who don't have custody of their children, who need help, and need people to come up alongside them. And our local services are great, but that's an area that there is a need that has not been met. Coming together, continuing to pull people in to volunteer, and if you ask me a question, I'll talk about that. And just some wonderful, wonderful opportunities that have come and that will be coming soon.
What would be a typical volunteer experience with Sojourner Truth Ministries in the House of Hope?
That's a great question. Thank you. The Sojourner Truth Ministries right now during COVID is predominantly food related. Mm-hmm. We do have a weekly Bible study on Wednesday mornings at 10, but it's serving a meal. So we have volunteers who come in and help prepare the meal and who help serve it. They're still serving mostly takeout, and before COVID, our average was 60 meals, and right now we average between 90 and 120 some meals a day, Monday through Saturday at lunchtime. And so we always need help with property repair. It's a very old building, and volunteers who want to do something a little bit more social, help with the food. And then for the House of Hope, one of the really neat things about that is we have a life skill development program. And so we've got 60-some life skills that the average person needs to use frequently.
Mm-hmm.
And so developing that program, we need all kinds of volunteers for workshops, for practicing with job skills, interviews, learning computer skills. We do have mentors, but we're always taking more, and that would be mature Christian women, not necessarily age mature, but solid. And they go through a training, and they will sign up for a year of mentoring so that enables the women, once they graduate the program, which we anticipate to be 6-ish months,
Okay.
then their safety net is still with them as they move on. And so the mentors would continue that relationship with them. So it's not like a punishment to graduate, but they've still got that support.
It's the group of people who all have these ideas like, okay, here's this next step that I see you needing to take, or here's 2 choices that I can show you. Those kind of mentors.
Literally coming up alongside, sharing life, relationship building, absolutely. And then we have a budget coach that will work weekly with the women. So there's all kinds of opportunities for people to serve and get involved. It could even be cookie baking or helping with meal, because the meal component, the women will be cooking 5 days a week, but we're offering opportunities for people in the community to bring in a meal, or sometimes to help cook a meal, and that brings in math skills, problem solving, planning, working together, team building, community building, conflict resolution. So every single thing we do, there's multiple purposes for it that we're trying to pull in to continue to build life skills and social skills.
Are you able to see women succeed at this time with anybody being able to come as a regular client of the Sojourner Truth Ministries? And a good news that you could share with us about something great that's happened for some folks that have been helped by you?
Yeah. Well, we don't have women from the program yet, but we have people that share with us the ways that our support helps. We do help with social service work, and spending time individually with people seems to be what makes the biggest impact. We've a man who has helped for several years. He calls himself the doorman, and he's been pretty sick with a pretty significant disease, and we've walked alongside him through his treatment, and just pulling him in. We had a cooking class for 6 weeks, and he was able to attend several of those. And for him, it's not that he needs to learn how to cook. He needs to know he's included and have that socialization and have a reason to get up and get out of bed. And that emotional and spiritual support has been huge for him. We have worked with people. There was a man who was sleeping in someone's unfinished attic, and so not insulated or anything. And he came to us in the winter, and it was early fall by the time he was able to get his paperwork in order. He had come from being incarcerated and was homeless. And we walked through with him. We gave him, as we were able, some small jobs and to just help his self-esteem. And he didn't understand why we were so kind. And forming relationship with him, allowing him to come in out of the cold. And the only adult books I had were, Bible study books, and he read those and just enjoyed. And he needed the socialization, but we were able to help him to find housing and refer him to different places. He didn't have a phone, so he was welcome to use ours, and just, next steps to get connected with the agencies he needed to. And now he's on his feet. It was a very slow process. It all happened during COVID, and we were his place that he felt connected to, and kind of safe enough to share and to receive help, because a lot of people struggle with pride, and and he didn't want to bother anyone.
Oh, I hear that so much with
And
people.
he had shared with us, because I would see him hours early when, during that first early COVID, when everybody was freaked out about everything, we didn't allow anyone into the building except the people who worked here. And we lost 85% of our volunteer base, and it was pretty secluded inside. But he would come hours early and just sit on a rock across the street. So with the beating sun, we would invite him in, and he said one day, if it weren't for this place, this is the only meal I eat is what I get from here. That was really powerful.
Absolutely. What an amazing experience then for you to be able to provide that.
It was, and it just made it, very personal. There's really no reason a person should be hungry in this area. There are several providers, but it was very touching that he, this is just where he connected.
It seems to me that this does fill that gap, because there's some services where there's people that are working. They talk about the Alice category of people with the United Way that are working hard but don't make enough money to live. And then people who are in a situation where they need so much help, and you are covering all those spaces and guiding them forward.
Yeah, and that's a beautiful thing. And there are a lot of people. We really try to know each person's name and spend time with them. If that means us hanging out on the sidewalk with people, we try to make sure that we do that so we're available. But yes, with the Alice that you were talking about, we also have been so blessed that local grocery stores donate food to us so that it's not being wasted, it's not being thrown out. And we are one of the agencies that receives from them. And so we're able to, as soon as we have enough food, in a week. So we were able to do this usually 3 days a week. We put food out on a big baker's rack, and people come. And as they need it, they don't have to use their food stamps. They can just come. Mm-hmm. They can freely take what they need. And I know that that's a big help for people because people have shared that.
Well, when you talk about Sojourner Truth Ministries, all the things that you're describing that you do for clients that come in on a daily basis will just be the same kind of experiences that you push over into the House of Hope, where this is just a home where some 12 women can live, but they're still receiving those same services.
Yes, and it's where they'll live, but there's so much more. Mm-hmm. With the budget coaching, the weekly mentoring, they'll be required to participate in daily devotions and, growth opportunities. Since it's private, there are requirements. They need to want to grow and grow through this. So it's not just being complacent with where you're at in life. This is your lot. They will be interviewed, and there's a committee that will make sure that these are people who want to get past this and live sustainably, so that eventually, hopefully, they'll be able and wanting to contribute back to the community and get off of so many of the programs that are not designed to be, lifelong.
What is your time frame for the House of Hope? At this time, you've worked hard for the past 3 years getting this off the ground, and here we are almost to the ready to go. Tell us what the next steps are so that we can hopefully help out with the House of Hope as it opens.
Oh, thank you. Yes. So next steps right now we are hiring for all positions for the House, ready to go pretty much, except for that. So we're looking for a House supervisor. We are looking for a case manager, and then the staff position so that we can offer 24-hour care for the women who will be there. And every staff person will be like-minded in that they want to see the women succeed, of course, but they will have the drive and desire, like I do, and pouring into the women and strong, solid Christians, and just wanting to come up alongside the women and walk them through this.
It's just such a charity-based thing to do. And I mean that by the pure love of Christ, which is meant such a wonderful thing. It has nothing to do with any kind of station in life or anybody's position or who they know. It's about loving people. No,
and I'm so glad that you said that, Freddi, because the base of the whole thing is, we want to value people and that they know, and our sojourners who come for meals, they know that we value them. We don't care where they came from, really, because today's a new day where to start from. And So the value, we want every single person coming through this program to experience God's unconditional love. And that's just part of the ministry. It's an extension of what we do with Sojourner Truth Ministries. This extension of the House of Hope is an opportunity for us to love people better in a just different construct. The value of each person, it matters so much, and the things that happen in life that bring people down and tear them down, our desire is to build them back up. And like I said earlier, with the holistic, touching on everything. You can't necessarily in 6 months heal a lifetime of wounds, but every area possible that we can touch on that will offer them help and more tools in their belt so that the healing process can begin. And they're seeing that, I am a valued child of God, and let my identity be in that rather than in what I needed to do for another person to exist for another day or to get a roof over my head. And that ties in with so many abuse issues, but we want to work through that, and that your value it's not what people may have told you in the past or you have bought into.
Where is Sojourner Truth Ministries? If someone wants to stop by or call, what can they do?
So we're located at 501 High Street. Our website, there's some really good information on it, is www.stm for Sojourner Truth Ministries, stmwilliamsport.org. And there's information about the house. There's information about what we do, who we serve. If they want, some statistics, that's there. How a person might want to get involved. There are volunteer opportunities listed. Our current needs list is on there. Or they can call, and our number is 570-323-1797.
Do you have services on Sunday, or are you more doing Bible study each day?
We're not a church. I know we're in a church building, and I'm a pastor, and that can be confusing, but we're a mission. Mm-hmm. And we were fortunate enough, 20 years ago, this year actually, the building, when High Street Methodist Church closed, the building was given to this ministry.
Well, it's a lovely position to be in, to be able to help folks in a beautiful building and be able to have people help and make it better. That's really a wonderful story.
I love it. Yes.
Well, we're hoping to keep up to date with you when the House of Hope opens. You get your hiring process all taken care of and see an open house. I guess we'll have an open house soon. Or did we have one last year when you were just getting ready to do the renovations?
I did have an open house last year, and days before the COVID restrictions happened.
Oh, okay. So you never got to follow through.
That would be correct. Behind the scenes, we've been working on all kinds of things to better it and be better prepared. Lots of lessons learned there.
Pastor Angelique, tell us how you say your last name, because I only trust you to do it right.
Oh, my last name is Labadie Sahanowiz.
There you go. Pastor Angelique, thank you so much for talking with us today about Sojourner Truth Ministries and the House of Hope. We're going to get online and find out all about it. stmwilliamsport.org. Is there anything else that we want to talk about? You have great people that help you. You can sort of give a little shout out to your right-hand people.
Oh, my goodness. Yes, I have some amazing people. Our board has been phenomenal, and Teresa is our resource advocate, and she's kind of like my right hand. She's been fantastic. We have our cook is great. His gift is hospitality. Ooh. And so he works through that with the food. The food is almost all healthy, and there's a beautiful presentation, and our volunteers who come in make sure if we get a donation of fruit from the local stores, they cut it into bite-sized pieces because so many of our people don't have teeth. All these things, taking our specific population into consideration to make sure that they have opportunities and we're working around any barriers so that they really know that they're loved. Where before we couldn't eat fruit, because how do you eat an apple if you don't have good teeth? It's beautiful. I'm so fortunate to work here.
I'm proud to know you, Pastor Angelique. It's really lovely. And I feel like getting to know you over these past few years has just been so nice. And I know that there's people like you that are helping others that are just full of love. And it's just wonderful. You can see it on your face and hear it in your voice. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And if anyone wants to volunteer, our volunteers are they're wonderful people. It just fuels the goodness and the great feelings, and we always love to have more join us.
All right, Pastor Angelique, we'll give them a call at 570-323-1797 or head out online to stmwilliamsport.org. Pastor Angelique of Sojourner Truth Ministries, thanks for joining us today on InTouch.
Thank you so much, Freddi. God bless you.
You too. InTouch is locally produced in our studios at 1685 4 Mile Drive in Williamsport. To get in touch with us regarding questions, comments, or topic ideas, call weekdays between 8 and 5, 570-323-8200. You can also write to us at 1685 4 Mile Drive, Williamsport, PA 17701. Attention Freddi Hammer. Or email me at fhammer@backyardbroadcasting.com. For archived programs of our InTouch series, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, Backyard Broadcasting. Each current program is featured on all Backyard Broadcasting websites weekly. Thanks for listening to InTouch, a production of Backyard Broadcasting.